Okay, first of all, I'm sorry if there is background noise in this at all. Both my dogs, Fitz and Andre, are in here and they are happily chewing on bones. So we're gonna try to get through this a little bit quick. But I really wanted to hop on before I started the process video. So for today, I want to do a couple of things with this Amy Tangerine Late Afternoon collection. First of all, I have a color palette here with this green and the cream and the copper foiling. So I definitely want to do that. Next, this is going to be a very paper heavy layout. So I'm going to, before I start the camera, I'm going to fussy cut a bunch of these green cameras because I want to stick to the color palette. You guys know, I really wanted to play with this green. And I also wanted to do a more paper heavy layout because a lot of my recent projects using this collection are very more embellishment heavy. So we are going to use the thickers today, and then I have pulled out some papers. These papers are from the Cardstock Warehouse. This is Speckle Tone in Starch White. This one is called Mid Green, and this one with this beautiful coppery shimmer is from their Star Dream collection, and it's the copper one. So I have these papers pulled out because I want to die cut. So I'm going to die cut a bunch of hearts. I have this Altenew Love Letters die, and then this is a Spellbinders die. And I'm going to cut hearts both from patterns and from the colors. I'm going to fussy cut some cameras, and then we're going to come back in and put together the layout. And then I also have 3 photos, so this will be a 3-photo layout. And the thickers. So yeah, this is how we're going to start this paper heavy layout with some die cutting and some fussy cutting, and then we're going to come back in and start playing and get this done. So yeah, that's where we are. I will be back in your time, like in just a minute, with everything die cut and ready to go. Okay, so let's get started with these green papers. Here's my Starch White background, and then I have all these die cut hearts. And what I want to do is I want to make this layout be like a cascade of layered hearts. So I have some that are solid, some in this copper, some that are patterns. I'm going to start with the largest hearts and kind of get those situated, and then I'm going to go ahead and kind of fill in with these small hearts. I want some to be kind of going off the page, and I want them to kind of look like they're just kind of falling from the top of the page to the bottom. So I'm going to get them all in place here where I think they should go, and I'm going to layer up some of them. So the nice thing about these hearts, both of the set of heart dies that I used, is that they do layer really, really nicely, which is going to really allow me to add some dimension and some interest to all of these hearts by being able to layer them on top of each other. Once I have the larger base layer of hearts down, I'm going to trim that one off that's coming off the top, and then I'm going to take the other half of it and put it at the bottom. Why waste half a heart, right? I'm going to go ahead and trim the rest of these off, and then I'm going to get to work on matting my photographs and deciding where I want them to be. So next up, I decide that I really want to mat one of the photos in this kind of tone-on-tone green, and then this other 2 I'm going to mat on my gorgeous polka dot, which is like my favorite paper. I'm going to go ahead and give all 3 of these photos a nice mat. These are photos I printed at home. I have a Canon Pixma, and I print on just matte photography Canon paper. It's totally fine if I decide I want a better picture, or if I'm dealing with pictures I really love, or I want pictures that are bigger. I always go ahead and order them from Persnickety, but now and then I just want to scrapbook a set of pictures, and I don't want to wait for them to come in the mail, if I'm being perfectly honest. So then I just print at home. All right, we're going to get these photos matted, and then I'm going to go ahead and decide where I want them to be on my page. I decided to leave a little bit of space right there between my 2 photos. So I'm going to go ahead and add the first letter of my, or do I add all of it? I guess I add all of it. The title of my page is just going to be Andre Snuggles, and we really don't need any journaling or anything more than that, because that's really all it is. It's our Morgan's dog. Well, technically he is Morgan's dog, but honestly, he is everybody's dog. He's a pit bull lab mix, and he is the biggest baby and the biggest snuggler. Like, we have Fitz, who's a doxy, you know, and really small, and then we have Andre, and I'm telling you what, I think Andre wins in the snuggle department. Like, he's like the biggest lap dog ever. So I'm going to add Snuggles, then I'm going to kind of tuck this third photo in up above the title, and then I'm going to go ahead and put Andre's name up at the top. And then then we're just going to go ahead and get finished up on adding the teeny tiny hearts and all of the little extras that I decided I want to add. So I decided to do a little bit of tearing and add a little bit of a peekaboo element over on the right. I'm going to do it the backwards way though. I'm not going to do it the way you're supposed to do it. I never do it the way you're supposed to do it. So if you ever want to try this, don't do it like me. Tape your paper, tape the pattern paper behind where you want to tear, and then tear. And I do it this way because I'm just a drip. I don't even know why, but this is how I do it all the time. I always do it wrong. Anyway, but it's all right. It works. I really wanted the stripes to go horizontally and not vertically, so I ended up needing to kind of piece this page in a little, like I had to piece them together a little bit. Totally fine. It worked wonderfully. I'm going to grab my guillotine trimmer now so that I can make sure I still have a 12 by 12 paper, and then we'll continue on. I am just going ahead and pulling up that torn edge to give it a little bit more dimension, and now comes the fun part. So I'm going to grab all of the rest of the hearts, the teeny tiny ones, and I'm going to start layering them up and adding them in and around all the open white spaces. So I'm layering these on top of each other and placing them all around the layout. I'm going to show you a little trick for how to kind of glue these down in a minute because they are quite small. This tiny layered hearts die set from Altenew is seriously one of my favorites. Actually, these are both of these sets of die cuts. So those kind of wonky hearts from Spellbinders and this layered heart die from Altenew. These are really great die sets. They are super usable if you are a scrapbooker. Like really, you'll get a lot of mileage out of them. So if you're someone who's kind of particular about what die sets you buy, these are two really good standalone die sets to have for scrapbooking. So as you can see here, I'm layering them on top of each other, the hearts. I'm not just putting one down and maybe putting one off to the side. They really layer well. And I just love this color palette. I know it's probably not everybody's cup of tea. I get that. And so that's kind of why I waited a little bit before I did it, but I knew as soon as I had Amy Tangerine's collection and that green, oh, I love green. Green is probably like one of my favorite colors. So my favorite color, if you ask me, I always say it's like corals and aquas. So what is coral and aqua? It's like green and orange. Or green and copper in this case. So but I really love these colors. So if you wanted something different, if green and copper are not your jam, you can definitely 100% use different colors for this. You could do a layout like this all in shades of pink. You could do an entire layout like this all in shades of aqua or coral or purple or whatever. You could do more colors. You could do the whole rainbow if you wanted. But this is just a really fun layout. So now I have also FYI, I did in fact fussy cut all those cameras, but we're not even going to use one. So they'll be around on another layout, another day. Off to the side you go. So I am going to use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive and my Crystal Katana to glue down all of these teeny tiny little hearts. So as you can see here, this turns out really easy. I don't lose any of the placement on any of the hearts, and I can just go through, glue them all down exactly where I had them, and then I remembered that I didn't tape down this big heart. It's okay though. We're gonna fix it. It'll be just fine. Oh, but I did add that heart down there too. So now that I have all of those hearts down, I have to show you these. So these are Nouveau drops. One is in woodland green and one is in copper penny. I bought these when I ordered the late afternoon collection because green and copper. See, I told you I've had this layout planned for a really long time, right? I knew what I was doing with it. So I'm going to alternate the woodland green and the copper penny Nouveau drops. And I'm going to place little lovely drops in all of the still open spaces that I feel need to be filled. I always keep some scratch paper off to the side because I want to make sure that there's no air bubbles or nothing funky's going on with my Nouveau drops. Most of that started after I exploded the Nouveau drops across one of my pages. If you are a longtime watcher, you saw that. It's pretty good. And I salvaged it too. All right, that's going to complete this one. Just these pretty Nouveau drops alternating in colors and filling it in. I hope you all have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. I know this is going up a bit later than planned, as is all of my videos for this week. Check out this Amy Tangerine collection. It's so fun and so pretty. And I made a card with the extra hearts I die cut and didn't use. So you can see all of that up on my other social media sites too. See y'all soon. Bye.